Right, hello Matthew.
Hello.
We're going to do tips today on course. I love these tips because they're based on some facts based around shot scope data. So if you think about that, that's you, the golfer. Like, it's a real good snapshot of such a wide range of golfers. Hitting greens from rough to fairway. If you look at my percentage here, I still hit greens when I hit it in the rough.
So do I.
And you do as well, yeah. But we know that amateurs, they're better than, say, going in fairway bunkers, as we've done in other videos, but I think there's a lot of improvement for people getting better out the rough, and I think it's something that's so untalked about, because, I mean, have you ever seen an amateur practicing out the rough?
No.
They do it because they end up in there.
Yeah.
So to give you some ideas of how to get better out the rough, which I reckon could lower your scores. Oh, I've hit that good, but I'm not sure if I'm getting over there. That could end up in the rough. Because the problem is, it doesn't matter how well you play, you are going to hit a percentage of shots in the rough. I mean, look at the best driver on tour. Look at their stat. Look at how many fairways they're hitting. It's really impressive. But they're still having to play plenty of shots from the rough. And I know that your stats probably aren't as good as this. So let's get you better at the place that you're spending quite a lot of time in.
Right guys, before this video gets started, why doesn't everyone check that they've hit that subscribe button? And there's a little bell next to it too. Why don't you give that a little ring and you'll get all new notifications of when a new video goes up. Also, in the studio the other day, I saw 4 dozen of Mark's Shrixon golf balls. Shall we give them away? How about if this video hits 3,000 likes, we'll give those 4 dozen golf balls away to one lucky subscriber. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell, and more importantly, hit that thumbs up for this video, and let's get it to 3,000 likes. Let's get back on the course and teach you how to get out the rough.
Right, that's a pretty chunky lie. I'm 100 yards out, Matthew.
That is thick.
But I'm going to assess the thickness of this. This ball is going to need a bit of speed, more speed than if I was on the fairway at a field to me. I'm going to have to really get through there, so I'm going to play it slightly differently. So I'm reading my lie.
Yeah.
It's going to come out of here and it's going to tend to want to bounce on.
Yeah.
It might pop as well, so I might get lots stuck between ball and face, which makes then the grooves aren't going to have a chance to get rid of all that, and then I'm going to have this fly a low spin kind of ball that might go 5-10 yards further through the air. But I'm going to balance that off by the fact that I think it might come out slow because I'm going to catch lots of grass.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to assess this bit, so I'm going to put a bit of speed into that. I'm going to put the ball back in my stance, handle forwards, and I am going to feel like I smash down on it to try and not interact with much of the grass back here.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the lay of the land. So I've got to run into this green. It's all downhill, so that's helping me. It's going to run it towards the flag. I've got to go between 2 bunkers, but I'm not really going to take them out of play, because if I try and fly them, I'm then flirting with another bunker back left and going over the back of this green, which I actually don't want to on this occasion because I think it's just going to run away and there's hedges. So on this situation, I'm actually going to play more to the front edge and let the rough help me and move it down there. Ball back, handle forward, pressure on my front foot, keeping my pressure there, and I'm going to hit hard. I really pop it at forwards. That's a nice shot. It's got between the bunkers. It's landed 10-15 short, and it is just
Look at that, running on. Get that just a little bit. That's a good shot.
Happy with that. And again, look at the impact in the ground.
Yeah.
I've really scarred.
That is taking a lot of stuff away, isn't it?
A lot of downness. Now we're going to go same distance, but I'm just going to put you over here, Max. I think your drive went a bit further right than mine. That is chunky. You put another one down because you're going to actually do 2 fairways from here.
Yeah.
Chunky one first, but we've definitely got bunker in the way of that flag. It slopes away afterwards.
Yeah. So
what's your plan?
if you haven't got the speed and you struggle out of rough, then I'm not looking at the flag here.
Yep.
That bunker's too much of a hazard. I haven't got the speed to get that ball high enough and to stop it on the green. Anything to the left of that pin and pin eye is good, or even short of the green is good, and hope that you either 2-putt or chip and putt.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the stats coming up now, you'll see that bunkers cost higher handicap golfers
1.4, I think,
massively.
Yeah.
Higher handicappers generalised don't have as much speed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not hitting drivers as fast. That'll reflect through their shots.
Yeah.
If I was playing this hole with my daughter who's learning, I would be playing short left.
Up the left.
Because there is also a bunker up back left that you would roll into. I just don't want to touch in the bunkers.
Yeah.
And I know she can chip and putt, 2-putt or 2, literally get down from here in 4,
Yeah.
1 and 3 more.
Yeah.
If she misses short left, if she pops it in a bunker, she can get down in 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Which is not healthy.
So I'm going to go similar technique to you. I've got a 52 back in my stance. punch it forward, weight left. I'm literally just trying to get my angle of attack steeper into the back of that ball. So I'm aiming probably 15 yards left, and that's probably left edge of the green, and I'm just not worrying if it hits it or not really. I just want it round pin high and avoid those bunkers. Weight left, handle forward, hit down on the back of that ball, take lots of divot. It's come out quite nice. Just need to sit a little. That's right where I was aiming.
Good shot.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just so safe.
Yeah.
So we've played a similar shot, but you've had to aim much further left, where I could attack from my side. Same lie. You had no option. Your attack is about not making a double.
Yeah.
My attack from that side was about, can I still get a par, get lucky, make a birdie, bogey at the worst. Reading lie, reading lay of the land. Now, if you had a bit more speed,
like if I was here and I've got my speed, like I'm thinking more I want to be on the green, and I'm quite good out of bunkers too, so I would be going like just only 5 yards maybe left of that pin and hitting a more lofted club, so my most lofted, hitting it as hard and as high as I can.
So you're now almost playing the fair. So if we were from the fairway here, this is where you would play middle to back yardage, a bit more aggressive. Go with it, forget the bunkers short, take them out of play like we've talked about in other videos. You're now actually, because you've got speed, you're feeling like you can beat the rough in this situation.
Yeah, I can muscle my way out of the situation a bit more, and I think that's probably where you'll see from our stats. 50% I think mine is hitting the green from the fairway. I've got the skills and the speeds to still be able to muscle my way out of some of these situations. So 58 degree, bit more of a normal stance, normal ball position with this club, and hit it hard and hit it high.
You could hear the difference in the impact, couldn't you?
That's perfect.
Good shot.
That's 5 yards perfect left of the pin.
Yes,
on the
please.
green. And just to finish, look at the difference in divots. You can see I've literally taken the roots out of the one where I was digging, and here I'm just basically taking brushing the top of the grass, not really hitting down into the mud, so my angles of attack are so totally different, just to try and muscling that ball out with the one that's sat down a little bit compared to the normal full shot.
Gonna hit my 7-iron, Matt. Watch this. Look at these two lies. So I would say they're both relatively even. They're chunky. I'm 200 yards out and I can't get the green from those lies. So I'm using some loft. People like to often play the club that goes the distance, where you've just got to accept you can't hit the rough. Give yourself, you play the lowest loft you possibly can that will give you the launch to get that ball going forwards.
And you get that through experience, don't you?
You got to get in here and play.
You've got to play it a certain amount of times, and then you'll understand when you look at that lie like you've analysed before,
what you can and can't do.
You can and can't do, and I see it so often in my lessons. They
go for it too much.
They go for it way too much, and I just think, what are you doing here?
Like,
this is just setting yourself up to fail.
So the next point, I've given myself some loft. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself as much speed in here. The biggest mistake I see people make when they're in the rough is they do play their ordinary swing. So if I do my ordinary swing, I'm around 4 down with this iron, which means I will start interacting with the ground like about here.
Way before
probably
the ball.
There, because that ball is down. So if I play that shot, so normal ball position, I've actually got my normal grip, so I'm going to talk about something else I do. Normal stance, I'm just going to play my normal shot. And we'll show you where these finish. Now that popped out fine, and it's chipping up forwards. It went about like a head and half height, didn't it? It just didn't go over anything. And look where I started interacting with the ground. The ball was here, look.
Way before.
Back here. Forget pretty. Forget everything you practice on the range, and forget all your movements and things, numbers and kind of positions you're trying to hit. If I wanted to move this considerably closer than where I've just moved that next one, for me, I employ my 10-finger grip. Because it makes me feel like I can hit it harder.
New skills.
I'm going to put the ball a fraction further back in my stance, handle forward, similar to the last one. And I am just going to think as hard as possible. There is no finesse to what I'm doing. I'm not thinking of any positions. I'm thinking of speed, and then I'm thinking of hitting down a fraction more, which the ball position and my slight lean forwards and the handle forwards is doing. And then apart from that, but I am trying to hulk this. I think so many people just get in this situation and play their shot. I mean, that will show the results of these. That is going, I reckon, 3 times the distance.
Yeah.
Definitely double. And out of the rough, look at it go.
Yeah.
Look at that go. That's gone like a 5-iron distance because of the way it reacts out the rough with low spin, and the fact it's going to bounce on when it hits the ground, and that flight.
Yeah.
You got to muscle.
Absolutely.
I see so many golfers do their swing from the rough. It just doesn't work.
So here's Mark's normal swing out the rough, and up there he got a little bit excited saying 3 times further, but it's probably 30-40 yards further.
Yeah.
And
I've got double or 3 times the chance of getting up and down from here than I have from there.
exactly, I'd much rather be closer with my 3rd shot than I would back here, that's for sure.
So 2 lies, your ball, my ball. Lucky we finished this close, wasn't it? For
Yeah.
this comparison. Let's talk about bag setup. I do honestly believe a lot of golfers leave this part of their bag not tailored for these situations. Bearing in mind the stats show you get in this situation quite a lot. My bag personally, I've got a hybrid in my hand. I'm going to try and smash it out of there. Is set up knowing that I can hit this from the fairway, but from the rough, this gives me a bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
I've done tests on 4-iron to hybrids. For me, they go the same distance. For me, they actually peak height the same, which was really interesting when I did the test. But this launched up to 2 degrees higher, which for me is just money. That gives me an option. So from the fairway where launch isn't my problem,
Yeah.
I just use that extra 2 degrees and let it be there. I don't really notice it, apart from if I had to go over something in the immediate.
Yeah.
But when you take launch away from the rough, anything that gives me launch back but goes the same distance inferior as the 4-iron is a win. So if you look at your bag and you're in the rough 60% of the time, say your stats are showing, if you're not collecting, you definitely should start thinking about it, and you've got a 4-iron and you've got my speed or less, this is easy pickings to gain shots back, is it not?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what we're going to do, Matt's got his 4-iron, because he's got a 4-iron, we'll talk about his options. We've got similar lies. Let's see who gets it closer. Should we have a little comp to finish?
Okie dokie.
So building your bag around the lies that you get in is so huge, and that kind of 6-iron to around 3-wood range in there. Think about it. People get fit for their drivers, they get fit for their irons. They kind of just do hybrids, like hybrids and wedges, you know, specialised clubs. They kind of just, should we just do the hybrids at the end? Like, how many people have done that? Like in the comments down below, have you done that? So many people have done that. Where if you 200 yards out, you're struggling as a handicap golfer, you're hitting it in the rough a lot as well. Forget the irons. This is where you should be doing it. Right, who can get it further? So hybrid for me, I now play middle of the stance, which is back.
Yeah.
Because I would play it slightly forwards.
Okay.
Handle slightly forward, but you got to remember you're trading on not massive loft, so that's why I'm not as aggressive as like a 7-iron and the wedge. And again, this is about speed. I've got to get speed in there, so it's not pretty. It's going to be a little bit down, and it's going to be a lot of hard, as much as I can put in. Oh, you ain't beating that.
That's a knuckleball.
You are not beating that.
That's a knuckle, and that's running up nice. Oh, I'm never beating that.
I reckon that could be 10 foot away. You see that shot?
You've done that on purpose. You put me up against Rinky.
I'll be like, if we would, like, you're gonna hit your 4-iron. If I got a 4-iron that I brought from inside, if I hit a 4-iron from here, that's just never happening.
Yeah.
So why would I tailor my bag around a skill I haven't got? Like, so many golfers are doing it. Let's get your bags helping your game. Right, Matt's gone back to his bag because because there's a competition called, he's worried. What have you got in your hands?
Well, I've got a 5, a 4 and a 4 hybrid now. So like the lie, once I've put clubs behind and assessed it, like 4-iron is dangerous. So out of these two, which are the same loft, I would definitely be going hybrid like you.
Yeah.
I want that, even if I misstrike that, it's probably going to pop up in the air and still be able to get going further than
Mine
what
was
an
high
iron
on the
was.
face. It wasn't a strike out the middle.
So I would probably, out of those two, be going hybrid. But I brought my 5-iron because I think that lie, I'm more able to get a better strike and some loft on to that ball and hit it further than what I would my 4-iron.
Okay, well, I want you to hit 4-iron for the competition because that's what was set out.
Okay.
But we are showing you this because Matt's bag is built for his game. It is built.
And this is why I've got these two same loft, similar clubs
Yeah.
for this sort of situation. So
Yeah.
and
just to put this in context with this lie, we are 5 yards off the fairway. We would be in this situation, well, I'm in it X% of the time. I think I'm hitting fairways 59% of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm 40% in these kind of lies and worse. And your average amateur's in these lies more than that. So being better out here is, I mean, if you're in this situation 70% of the time,
yeah,
but you go to the range 100% of the time and hit off a mat,
and then wonder why your range sessions are better than
why
when
do
you're
I
on
play
the
better
course.
on the range? I do it better on the range than I do on the course. Well, if you practice your 30%, such an interesting message. Right, so 4-iron, I guess you're just going to go smash, smash, but you're worried this isn't going in the air.
I'm even going to like aim up the left and try and get some loft on the club and cut it a bit and hit it hard.
Cool, yeah, that's done well.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we'll get. Oh, that could be really good.
That's actually a better line than yours.
I reckon it's long. That's such a good shot. This is, I mean, what's so good about this is look what we've both done from those situations.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why we're able to play at a lower standard than your average golfer.
Yeah.
We get in here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get in here less, but we accept that we get in here, and then we accept that we've got to learn what to do out of here.
I've been in here a lot, so I understand it.
Very good shot, Matthew.
Thank you, sir. Very good from you as
And
well.
I'm very happy with mine. I think it's interesting, isn't it? We're actually pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And for us, I mean, you wouldn't have used that club. It's interesting as well. You say you'd use the 5. Would have been perfect.
I would have been, yeah.
I reckon your hybrid might have actually gone
too far
further because you would have got a bit more launch.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is such a determining factor, I think, between better players and higher handicappers.
Yeah.
The gulf between playing from the rough, playing to the fairway in proximity, and the success of hitting the green from the rough to the fairway. Unfortunately for amateurs, there's too much premise on hitting the fairway because they're not good enough at the rough. Not that they can't do it out of the rough, because they're so concentrated on fairway, position, swing, everything. Go online, where are the rough tips? There's hardly any. Where curing your slice is massive. If you're hitting 30% of your fairways, I mean, yeah, that could be better.
But you could get better from the rough.
You could take 20% extra greens in reg from the rough, and you are a considerably better player, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Post comments down below. Do you spend your time in the rough? Let me know, how much time do you spend in the rough? In that comment section. Let's hear ya. So I've got a 9-iron out of a heavy lie here. Quick tip for you. Look, this can tend to turn the club over. Certainly with more loft as well, it feels like it's going to turn it a little bit more left. If I was hitting this shot into a green, I'm going to aim right portion, because there's a good chance that that ball will go left from my club hitting the grass and that face turning. So making sure you're aiming a fraction more at the right and trying to hit it hard might just allow you to hit a few more greens. If you put trouble on the left, I'm in this heavy rough, I'm going to defend. You put trouble on the right, I'm going to aim at the pin and let it move away from it. That turning left can hurt you and help you, as long as you understand it might happen. And then one last thing to think about here, wet to dry rough won't be the same. If this ball, it's a lovely dry morning, a dry rough, I'm gonna get this out so much easier than if this was dewy and wet. The other thing that will happen as well, remember when you hit out the rough, spin comes off, you get flyers, you're playing for the ball to roll on. If you add wet to that as well, it makes that even worse. So reading wet to dry rough, I'm gonna adjust my clubbing knowing it's wet rough to dry. So two things I'll adjust. If it's wet and chunky, the ball might come out slower, so I'll use the fact that it's got less spin to even it out. Where if it's dry, I feel like it might pop and I might get a little bit more control, basically. So you've got to read that situation, and again, the only way to read that situation, get in more often. When you play next, why don't you go every shot, if you've got no one behind you, you've got a bit of time, every shot you hit the fairway, play that club, move into the rough at the same distance, play an equivalent shot. A, look at your proximity, it'll completely change, and B, look at what clubs you hit from the different situations. So same yardage, 150, one in a really good lie in the fairway, 7-iron, you put it in the rough, you might find you can get there even with a 9-iron. It's a great way of improving from the rough.